So I've come up with this series of videos that I'm going to call Why Is It So Hard? And they're in response to a few things. Some of you may have seen that I was at a series of talks over the weekend, one of which was on body acceptance. And it was a long old talk and it went off in a lot of directions, some of which I hadn't really considered. One of which was overweight people and how they may be stigmatised or treated differently from the rest of society at all levels. From being treated differently by healthcare professionals to being treated differently on a day-to-day basis because they're assumed to be greedy or lazy, and then that trickling down and affecting the way that they view themselves. And that then made me think that I've seen this playing out multiple times. I've referred clients to their GP before because they're suffering from knee pain, and we want to know specifically what's wrong with that knee so that we can get them exercising again and help to get them to lose that weight. Only for them to come back demotivated and demoralised because as they've got to their GP, rather than being told something specific and helpful, they've just told them that they're overweight and need to go sort it. Yeah, cheers, thanks for that. And I've also spoken to people who are very fit and have always been fit that I've known from a training environment, who've said that they don't trust overweight people in positions of authority because they obviously lack discipline. And I've also had clients, the people that pay me to help them, who don't really want to tell me how it's really going with them and how they're doing because they're worried of feelings of guilt or shame, or they're just worried about being judged. How messed up is that? Obviously that's not what I want, and so my hope with these videos is that it helps encourage a little bit more empathy from people who've never been in that position, and maybe anyone who's in that spot now will be a little bit more kind and understanding with themselves. Which brings me to the first thing that I wanted to start with, which was nutrition. And the reason that I wanted to start with nutrition is it's probably the most important. So if you've been following me for a while, hopefully that you'll know that becoming overweight is a question of energy balance. So basically eating more energy or calories, because a calorie is just a unit of energy, than your body requires. And so if we're overeating and have been for a while because the obesity rate has been going up for quite a while now, why can't we just stop? Let's take a look. Food environment is a big one here. Our food environment is set up to make us want to eat more. Think about it. There are people whose entire job it is to make us want to eat more. And not just one person, but lots of people. We have people involved in food engineering whose job it is to make things with flavours that we want to eat more of. We have the marketing of shops, so supermarkets are a great example of this. Take a trip around any of them, you'll see how you're bombarded with different offers the minute that you walk in the place. And that's not them trying to be part of some evil conspiracy to make everybody overweight. Just like every other business, they're just trying to make money. So the odds are already stacked against us a little bit. Now factor in the fact that we are evolved to live in an environment where food is scarce, and so the effect that high calorie food has on the reward centre of your brain is really quite big. And I'm just scratching the surface here. There's also research out there linking things like poverty and stress responses to overeating, which makes sense when you think about it for just a second. How many of us have started a diet and then forgotten all about said diet the minute that we start having a bit of a bad day? Those biscuits look extra good if you're angry or sad. And if you think about growing up in a situation of poverty where food may be scarce, what are the effects if you then take that person and put them in an environment where high calorie food is very cheap and easy to get hold of? As I say, I've only really been scratching the surface with this, and if you wanted to read more about some of the things that I've spoken about, I'd recommend this book, The Hungry Brain, by, I think I'm saying this right, Stephen Guyenet, however you say it. But as I say, I want to make a couple more videos on different parts of this subject of why it's so hard. Straight away we've got the physical activity side of things, the other parts of energy balance. So that's what I want to talk about next, and I'll see you guys on the next video.